speaking of love and things that you love too, tell me how you got started with Church of Music. How did the idea originated, the vision?
Yeah, I was doing a bunch of side hustles. But one thing that happened to me once I started learning to DJ was I couldn't get any gigs. And it was always, even friends of mine that were throwing their parties, it would be like, hey, can I start? Can I open? Can I get involved? Anything. How long you been DJing? A year or two. Go practice. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I kept asking, I kept trying, and and it's really, you can practice at home, but really you need time on the dance floor in front of people, because you can be an amazing DJ in your bedroom, but the moment you're live
that's different
with an audience, it's a whole different story. And I quickly realized that it's a very much of a man's world, and it's a big boys network, and I get not triggered, but those kind of things ignite me, and I get to a place where, let me show you.
Yes.
I'll go practice, no problem. And then COVID happened and nothing was going on. And for me, music is my religion. It's always been my religion. I literally had a fake ID when I was 16 just to go to a club, not because I wanted to drink. I never bought alcohol. I've never purchased alcohol in my life. But it was because I wanted to dance. I needed music and I had to dance every week. And I'd go 5-6 times a week, from the moment the club opened till the 2 a.m. by myself on stage, leave me alone. I just want to dance and I need music. That was my religion.
I'm in my zone. Okay.
I'm in my flow state. Don't mess with it. Anyway, so COVID's happened, everything shut down, and I'm literally climbing walls. And I tried doing the online thing, but it was just not feeling the same. And I love being in nature. And it was always kind of a dream of mine to do an event at Gliderport in La Jolla. And I was like, why not try? Let's, I might go to jail. I'm willing to take that risk. I'm okay with that. If I go to jail today for breaking every single, law that's been put out there, then that's fine. And 5 of my friends were going to have a picnic and watch the sunset there. I'm like, I borrowed 2 tiny little speakers, a generator that a friend of mine made that's battery operated, and my small little setup, and the green blanket to totally just blend in with the grass. And so we're there. Exactly. And so I'm literally sitting on the grass, sweating my everything off, and my heart's about to jump out of me. And I'm like, I'm going to jail and it's totally fine. And I'm playing the sunset set, and my friends are sitting a mile away from me because they're like, she's going to jail and we don't know her. That's fine.
I don't know her.
Yeah, exactly. And it was, nothing happened. I just played and nobody came and nobody complained. And I was like, And instead, I got a bunch of calls and texts, and they're like, Alina, where are you? I want to come see you. That sounds amazing. Party? Yeah. Not a party, but it wasn't a party. It was really about just enjoying a sunset, listening to good music, and being outdoors, and truly just connecting with people. Because it was COVID, and it was everybody was starving for that connection and community and all that. So we did it again next week, and this time it was 20 people. And then we did it again next week, and then this time it was 50 people. And I just kept doing it week after week, and it just started growing organically without pushing anything, trying anything. I was like, don't tell anyone, guys. I don't want this to get out, It really was something from my heart that I truly just, for me, it was a religion. I needed music, I needed space to play. I wanted to be around beautiful people. And it was constantly a battle of, am I doing something wrong? It is COVID. Am I
How do you get away with it? I remember the first one I went, it was closer to Christmas, and things were still pretty hot.
Yeah, so it was literally a constant battle within my heart, because I love and care for people and community. And honestly, a lot of people came up to me, wrote me messages, I still have those messages, telling me that I saved their lives. They were suicidal, they were lonely, this was the only thing that they were looking forward to. And the good thing or at least in my mind, was that it was always outdoors. People could still stay 6 feet apart, they could wear masks if they wanted to, they could stay all the way at the end, but it gave them the space to at least breathe fresh air, be in the sunshine, listen to music, and just feel normal even for that couple hours, just forget about the world and everything that was happening and just really unite and then raise our vibrations together. And so it just kept happening. And then eventually, I called it 6 feet apart at the beginning. And then eventually, the the cops showed up, you know, and they were like, hey, you can't be here. I'm like, well, technically, because of my previous life, I used to be in law. And I looked up that artists are allowed to present their art like they do in Balboa Park when they just show up. Exactly. So they're able to show up and present their art without gathering. And we never gathered. We didn't have an actual event. I didn't sell tickets. Like, it was just me showing up and presenting my art, and people just happened to be there.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you're not allowed to do that. Like, that's not okay. La, la, la. I'm like, okay. But what if this is my religion and if it's a church? He's like, oh yeah, then you can have all the people you want here.
Oh my God.
Like, oh, okay. So I'm like, all right, well then, Church of Music.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
And I kept talking to my friends, and you know, for us, at first it was a joke. We were like, you know, it's a Church of Music, it's a Church of Music. I'm like, no, it actually is a Church of Music. Like, this is truly my church. I've never been religious. I never believed in God the way people believe in God. For me, my God was always love. And for me, community was always what I craved. And for me, giving back and leaving the earth better was always what I was about. Partially because of what I've been through in my life, and partially because I am so empathetic to people, to children, to animals. I've been involved with an organization called Corazon de Vida, and we support 10 orphanages in Baja, Mexico.
Wow.
And we support 500 kids, and we focus on education. And I did that before I even started church. I've been doing that for the past 10 years, you know? So it's not something that's new to me. It's not something that just like happened out of the blue and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, let's, you know, pretend like we're a church and pretend like, no, this is, it literally kind of, it was the most magical thing because all the things that I love and I care for all came together. So the ability to unite people, to play music, to dance, to be outdoors, and to give back. To me, it's so important to unite community and to do something so meaningful and so beautiful with it, because I feel like a lot of times, you know, you grow these huge communities or these big followings, but people don't do anything with it. I'm like, it's a responsibility, and you can change the world, even if it's just your community. You can help the homeless, you can help the people that are, you know, the brand new moms that are just having babies that don't have any. It takes the tribe, it takes the community. So why not use that for the good, for the betterment of society? Yeah. You know, as a leader, that's part of your responsibility. And so everything just started flowing, and I was like, oh my God, this is literally like everything. And so at that point, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna build this as a startup. This Church of Music, I am building it as a startup. And it was so funny, you know, basically in the last year and a half, we've had probably over 600 white men DJ reach out to us, letting us know that they're willing and able to start playing anytime. And one female DJ reached out this entire time.
Oh, wow.
And for me, it was super important about who I partnered with and connected with, because music industry in general, or, you know, art and entertainment industry is very ego driven, and it's extremely all about just get a bunch of people in, get a bunch of money, like keep going, it's like this really rough, egocentric society of community. And I want to show the world we can do something different. Like, it does not have to be that way. It can be from love. It can be with love, for the people, to the people, leaving the place a better. That's why it's super important for me, for people not to call it a party. It's not a party. It's not a rave. It's a service. It's a service for the people, by the people, to the people. And it truly is all encompassing. And I think why it took off so quickly and why people feel that love is because it's coming from my heart. It really is coming from the bottom of my heart. I'm not doing this to, you know, become billionaires and whatever, which eventually I'm not, nobody knows where it's gonna go. But for me, it's truly about bringing the community together, raising our vibration and leaving the earth a better place on every level.
Wow, that was so beautiful.